All right, as usual, put your questions in the chat and I'll address them. And hey, hi guys, everyone's here. Okay, fantastic. So let me know what questions you have and we'll address as many as we can. I wanted to share a couple of wins that we had this week. So we had 3 green cards approved this week so far, and we only had 3 days that we got mail for. And we also had 4 naturalizations, 3 for air, so that was good. It was 3, but that's fine. And then we had a client whose fiance visa was just approved, so we are now moving on to the National Visa Center and doing that process. So all things are good today. So far, so good. We did file some inquiry on a couple of cases that have been pending a long time. So things are moving along. So let's see if we got any questions. Usually the most engagement we get is on TikTok. So let's see. Can I seek asylum at the entry at the airport? I need to know more about how you are going to enter the United States. Are you coming here on a B2 tourist visa? And then what country you are coming from? Generally speaking, people who arrive on a tourist visa can apply for asylum at the port of entry at the airport, but you don't necessarily need to do that as long as you apply within 1 year of coming to the United States. Okay? So, can I apply for a tourist visa from Dubai without a bank statement? Probably not. Okay. Oh, Jose, you had a second I-485 interview in March, no decision yet. What can I do? Okay. So your interview, what your second interview was March of last year, you mean 2022. So it's already been a year. I would need to know more about your case and why did you get called for a second interview? What were the issues on the case to better advise you and tell you whether you file an and see what's going on. Maybe you need to contact your congressman or senator, but it depends on the strength of your case and what the issues are on your case. We also need to see, are you still married? Are you divorced? I'm assuming this is based on marriage. Maybe it's not. And in that case, I'm wrong. Give me more information. Where is your case pending? Which office did you go to for your interview? Also, what is your current status? Okay, so a lot of these things make a difference. If you already had, normally it's not normal to have 2 interviews for your 485. So it could be that the government is perceiving some sort of marriage fraud in your case, or some other fraud, depends on the type of case. Okay, so if that is the case, you want to talk to an experienced immigration attorney who can look and advise you and be able to tell you the truth, whatever that is. We see quite often where we talk to people and they really want to know what we are thinking. But when we tell them what we are thinking and what our opinion is, they're not ready to hear it. They are not ready to hear that sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing. Sometimes the best thing to do is to actually involve your congressman and your senator. Sometimes you can file an appeal. Sometimes you can file a motion compelling the government to respond. So, Jose, I would be very happy to talk to you, book a consultation, and let's go over that. Of course, I would want to see a copy of everything you ever sent to the government and every other piece of document or paper that you received from your government, okay? So call my office. It's 954-466-0070. It does not matter where you are located in the United States. We can help, okay? Now, if you already have an immigration attorney, talk to your immigration attorney. If you want a second opinion, again, I'm happy to be here for you, okay? Andy, I came with DV lottery. How can I apply for my family to join me? Wife and kids, 2 years and 4 years. When you applied for your DV lottery, were you already married? Did you already have the children? When did you come with the DV lottery? Did you already come to the United States as an immigrant? Was there a time at which you did not tell the truth about your family or marital status or your children? Or are you already a permanent resident and you want your family, wife, and kids to come to the United States? Assuming you already are a permanent resident and you want the wife and kids to come, and they did not already exist at the time you were in the lottery, then you should have no issue. If you already applied for the lottery and you are in the process of getting approved, then your wife and kids should be included on your application. If there was a time, then you should have disclosed that you didn't disclose. Not much you can do for them. So book a consultation. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can get them here. Maybe you cannot. Let's see. Hopefully you can. All right. Alex, why does my green card expire in 2 years and not in 10? My friend is also married to a US citizen. Okay, so your green card you're talking about first expires in 2 years and not in 10. At the time you got your green card, you were married to your spouse for less than 2 years. Because of that, the government is going to give you a green card that is temporary, even though it's called permanent residency. I know it makes no sense. But it's a temporary green card. It's a conditional permanent residency. So there are conditions attached to your green card because they want to see if you married your husband or your wife in good faith. So because of that, the government put those conditions in, and they expect you that once you got your green card, then you had that for 2 years, it's actually 1 year and 9 months, you apply for the removal of those conditions. So what does that mean? That means you again have to prove your marriage over and over and over again. And of course, you're going to have to do that for citizenship as well. So yeah, that's what needs to happen, okay? So you got the green card for 2 years. The next thing you need to do is removal of conditions on that green card, okay? Let's see. All right. Your asylum, okay, Sanjay, your asylum is pending for a long time. Fingerprint not came. What can I do? I applied many times. When you say you applied many times, you can only apply for asylum once. They wouldn't even accept the rest of them. When you say fingerprint didn't come, did you apply for affirmative asylum or defensive asylum? Where did you exactly apply? If you were sent a fingerprint appointment notice, okay, did you not go to the fingerprint or you never got the notice? If you didn't, did you call USCIS and tell them, look, this is my receipt number. I never got the fingerprint notice. In some places, depends on when you applied, you may not have gotten the fingerprint notice yet, okay? But typically you should receive it as soon as they issue the receipt for your asylum application. Okay. Jose, I contacted the senator. Good for you. Filed multiple service requests. I am married and have been for 7 years. Listen, something is going on depending on your history. What was the response that you got from your representative? I know you filed multiple service requests. Maybe it's time for you to sue the government, okay? Sometimes you can do that. For those cases that have been pending for a long time, you can file a writ of mandamus, okay? Now, was your I-130 approved and only the 485 is pending, or both of them are still pending, Jose? Let me know, okay? And let me know which place. What is affirmative asylum? Affirmative asylum is when you come to the United States and you either experienced persecution back in your country or you are in fear of future persecution back in your country if you were to go back, okay, then you have some sort of basis for asylum. Now, remember, when we are talking persecution, it's that foreign government that needs to persecute you through their agents. Could it be police? It could be other militias, other government entities, or other private entities that the government knows about, that they are not doing anything about. That is also considered persecution. Okay. So yeah, if you have been already in the United States, because that's when you can apply for asylum, you have to already be in the United States. Generally, within 1 year of arrival, you have to apply for asylum if you have basis for it. Okay. Mod, minimum bank statement for tourist visa. There is no minimum dollar amount. They want to see long-term history, and they want to see long-term and regular transactions, because you need to show that you have the financial ability to support yourself during that trip, including the costs involved in that trip, and also that you are well off enough that you are going to return back home. They want to make sure that you are going to go back home. That's what you need to prove. I filed in the Seattle office and I moved to Pennsylvania. So that's a question, that's an issue, because sometimes they're not moving the cases properly. Sometimes they think they no longer have jurisdiction. If you filed in Seattle, where was your interview? Both of them were in the same office. Are they still in Seattle, now in Pennsylvania? Where are they? I mean, there is so much going on in your case. Okay, talk to your lawyer or give us a call, but we need to see everything. Please advise me. I don't know why my individual hearing back changed to master hearing. Okay. Usually, if your court case takes longer, it's better for you. Okay. If you already had an individual hearing schedule, I'm assuming you have an attorney who's helping you with that. Guys, nobody should go to an individual hearing without an attorney. You should not, period. So I'm hoping for your sake that you do have an attorney. If you do have an attorney, the attorney can tell you why it would have changed to master hearing. Most of the time is actually in your benefit if it changes from individual hearing to a master. The more time you have in the United States, the more options you have, generally speaking. That's not true for everyone, so I don't know. I'm telling you in general. Okay. Sometimes they change because the judge moved, the judge's calendar changed, the judge was assigned to a different post. Maybe the government's attorney is not ready to try your case because your individual hearing means you are up for the trial date. So actually, it's not bad for you. Okay. Talk to your lawyer about that. Okay, so when we had our first interview, we're not living together since we were in different state. Okay, well, that raises a presumption that you entered into the marriage not in good faith. However, sometimes there are very good explanations or reasons for why that happens. We have had many of those. We have where one of them goes to medical school, then they have residency in other state, and they have to be there because that's where they got matched up for their medical residency. And so the spouse is continuing to do the job elsewhere. Or we had another case where the child was sick and had to go to a specific medical facility for a long period of time. But one other parent needed to maintain their employment so they can support and continue to have the health insurance. It could be because one spouse in one case was a trucker, was traveling the entire time, and the company where he was based off was in another state. But his routes were always, for example, where the couple theoretically lived. Okay, so there are many issues on that. Okay, I can try to help you, but it's too vague. I changed the address online. However, it only updated for 485 and not I-130. What can I do? Well, Kay, when you're changing for 485, that's the application under your name. When you are doing the I-130, it will not update unless your spouse or whoever filed the petition is the one doing the change of address under their name. That's how you're going to make it show up. You need to do the right thing properly. Can I file to adjust my status if I'm married to a US veteran, or does he have to be active duty? Oh, that is a fantastic question. No, they do not have to be active duty. Whether you can adjust or not depends more on more things than just them being a US veteran, okay? It depends on how you enter the country. It depends on, are you eligible for adjustment of status? Do you have to do consular processing? Did you cross the border and came here illegally? There are many things. Do you have a removal order? So just being a US veteran or being active duty, those things that parole in place and other things fix only certain things, doesn't fix everything, okay? If you are concerned about that, that means there is something in your history that raises flag and makes you worried. Hire an immigration lawyer to help you out. I have permanent resident. How long will I need to bring my sister who is above 21? Well, as a permanent resident, you cannot sponsor a sibling, brother or sister. You have to be a US citizen first. Once you become a US citizen, then you can petition for your sister, and that takes a long time, okay? After you petition, it's about 17 years plus 2 years for processing. It's a long time, okay? You might want to find other options for your sister. I've been waiting for 16 plus years for my brother's case in Afghanistan. Why is it taking so long? It's taking so long because processing for siblings is, first, it's the slowest category. It is the fourth preference, which means there are 3 other categories ahead of you. When those are fill up, when those fill up, they are going to grant visas to the 4th category. There is no number that is set aside just for that. And even if it is, it's so tiny, it doesn't move. Now, 16 plus years, it's getting there, okay? You're still going to have a few more years, but when your brother is going to get it, it's going to get it for himself and his family, hopefully wife and children, okay? There are other things that have created significant delays on visas, is that the pandemic. The consulates have been closed for almost 2.5 years and have not processed any visas. So imagine how many people ahead of you who are already ready in the queue are still waiting. So, and now the issue with Afghanistan is the issue with Afghanistan. So that's going to create the more diplomatic issues we are having with the country, the less diplomats are going to be, or consular officers are going to be in the country issuing visas. So still more time to wait. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with your brother's case. It's just simple processing time. Okay. When filing for military PIP, do I get an A number? Yes, you do, but military PIP should not be the first application that you're filing. So you're looking at it the wrong way. I filed my VAWA August 22, 2022. When can I expect my approval in green card? VAWAs right now, 2.5 to 3 years minimum just for the I-360, and then the green card application. What we have seen, which is great, is that once they approve one, sometimes they approve the green card without an interview, also in Vermont, so that's good. Your case is still too soon. The first thing you're gonna get, you should have gotten already, is the prima facie determination, and anytime now, if you didn't already, you should be getting your employment authorization and social security number. As an SILE, can I work with my I-94? No, I-94 does not grant the right to work. I do not see car accident cases. We only handle immigration to the United States. And most of our clients are already in the United States. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, Pierre. Okay. Can my US citizen mom file for my 35-year-old inside of the United States to adjust his status? Yes, generally. If um can they? No, I don't think they can. It depends on their status. Considered a of a citizen, okay, because they are already over the age of 21. That's a good question. Let me see something. Can you tell me in the meantime if what is the immigration status of the person that you are trying, that your mom is trying to petition? Okay, because there is no option to file. There is unmarried sons of daughters of U.S. citizen. You can file, but they would have to be here in lawful status, and they have never missed that. Okay. Also, do they have a removal order or not? Okay. So yeah, theoretically, yeah. Right now, the processing time for that is 9 years. So you might want to look at other options. How long does the T visa take? T visa also takes about 6 years, unfortunately, just like the U visa. But you do get a work permit while in the process. Okay, the best part about T visas, if you do qualify, and by the way, for those of you who don't know, T visas is for trafficking cases. And we are talking labor trafficking and sex trafficking, human trafficking in general. If, for example, you had an employer who didn't pay you the right wages, who asked you to work overtime and didn't pay you for that, who withheld money from your paycheck, that could be a T case for trafficking. Of course, if you were trafficked across the border, you were asked to do certain things on your way here to the United States, whether that's labor, sex, anything, you might qualify for a T visa. It does require that you file a report with the federal government, and we help you through that entire process. The best part about T visa, when you get it, your whole family gets it. Can you tell me about the U visa? Yes, if you are the victim of what's called a violent crime in the United States, and you helped the police apprehend or you file a report with the police, you cooperated with them, or you helped the prosecutor in making a case against that person, and they are willing to certify that, then based on that, you should be able to apply for a U visa. The process takes about 8 years right now. Okay. Judy, I have all the problems, but didn't know about, and no one knew to advise me. Oh, I don't know, Judy. What are you talking about? I'd love to help you. Help you. Tell me more. Elena, waiting on a receipt over a month. Now I filed for my marriage based green card. Should I be worried? So you filed for a receipt. Hopefully you did not send them a credit card information, and hopefully you paid by check. Was that check cashed? Can you show that it was delivered? Do you have proof of delivery? Yes, you should be worried. Unless you filed for a VAWA case, which you say you didn't, you filed a marriage-based green card. If that's the case, you really should be getting the receipt within a month, okay? So something is going on. Make sure it was delivered. Make sure the package is not being sent back to you because it was rejected. If they cashed the check, you should have gotten receipts by now. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay, I have a green card. What is the procedure for my unmarried son, 24 years old, and he's DACA applicant? So let me explain to you the visa bulletin, okay? So your son is 24, so that means he's no longer considered a child. He's an unmarried son or daughter of a permanent resident. So we are looking at F2B category. For F2B category, they are processing right now applications filed in 2015. Now, assuming you are not from Mexico or the Philippines, because those are way longer. If that is the case, then we need to look at how your son came to the United States. Did he accumulate any unlawful presence before he applied for DACA? And if that is the case, you can petition for him, but he will not be able to apply for his own green card until the processing time is caught up and the category is current based on his application type. This is not something you want to do on your own. This is complicated. If you don't want to hire us, that's fine. Maybe book a consultation with an experienced immigration attorney who can actually take the case and help you from beginning to end. You do not want to mess up with this because it will affect his future, okay? So let me know how he entered the country because that changes a lot of things, okay? Let's see. My guy stays in UK. He's on visa there. Can we get him here? That doesn't give me enough information. When you say your guy, I don't know anything about your own immigration status, Kay. So I need to know more. You say he's on a visa there. Where exactly is he from? And when you say, can we get him here to the United States? Theoretically, yes, but I need to know about your immigration status. Do you plan on getting married? We need to talk about that. And you actually need to have a plan. If he's on a visa in the United Kingdom, he depends on his education. He might be able to come here to the United States and work here. Okay, so there might be other options. I would need to know a lot more information. That's very good for a consultation. Okay. How long is it taking for a 601 to be approved after fees paid, and evidence sent? 601s are not that bad right now. It's between 5 and 9 months. Of course, that applies to the majority of cases. There are cases that are taking way longer than that. And I'm assuming you're talking about the 601 and not a 601A. 601A takes about 4 years. Jump in California can make a marriage. How long take the green card? I don't understand that. How long does it take for an I-130 to be approved? It depends on the category and your state of residence. There are some I-130s that are being approved in about 2.5 years. Others are taking over 5. All right. To come on B1, B2, can we change to green card? It depends. There are plenty of people who come on B1, B2, and then they change to a investor visa, they get married. There are plenty of options after that. But if you are coming to the United States or applying for a B1, B2 with the intent of remaining in the United States, that is considered fraud. Okay, how many months does it take for a fiance visa for UAS? It really depends on the consulate. There are some places, well, the first part of the fiance visa process could take anywhere from 9 months to 1.5 years right now. The government is working on making those a little faster. And then the second part really depends on the consulate. Every consulate actually has them listed on how long they take for that particular thing. How long after filing I-130 can we get work permit? Oh my God, Jay, you do not get a work permit simply based on an I-130. I-130 will never get you a work permit. You need to have some other stuff that it's pending. Hopefully with the I-130, you also filed an I-485, and with that, hopefully you filed for a green card and a work permit. So hopefully based on that, you want the work permit, because I-130 alone doesn't get you a green card. My wife forced my signature to do the taxes. Is that abuse? In and of itself, no, but that is fraud. It doesn't make it abuse. Fraud and abuse are not the same thing. But when your spouse does that, it is very likely that they're also doing other things as well. So you may want to consult with an immigration attorney to see if your relationship and what's going on in your relationship rises to that level of abuse, okay? And guys, just so you know, abuse is not always physical. In most cases, it's not. It could be emotional abuse, financial abuse, psychological. There are so many different ways. I'm a citizen. Can I sponsor my guy? He's my boyfriend, but he had a case in UK. Yes, you can petition for him. If you intend to get married, yes, Kay, you can bring him here as your fiance. When you say he had a case in UK, are you talking an immigration case where he's trying to get residency in the UK? Or you are talking about a criminal case in the UK? Because if that's the case, we need to look at it. This is not something you want to do on your own. My sister is a US citizen. Is faster if she marries a boyfriend abroad, or does fiance petition? Well, it depends. So if your sister is a US citizen, sometimes, depending on where your sister is, depending on the country, you can, sometimes fiance is faster. Sometimes it's better if they get married. And it all depends on their goals, okay? Can your sister, for example, afford to have her fiance come here, not be able to work for about a year because they're not going to have a work permit? Can she afford to support him for that period of time? Or does she need him to work from the minute he comes, or at least within a few weeks, so he can help with the financials? Bringing someone here is also quite expensive. So I would assume that she would want him to be able to work as soon as he's coming to the United States. Every case is different. I talk to couples who say, I just want everything done right. I still have to work at this job for the next 2 to 3 years, and he still needs to finish his whatever school abroad. So if he comes here in 2 years, 3 years, it's okay. And in the meantime, we just visit. Other people say, I don't know, I don't care. I just want them here as fast as possible. And sometimes there is a combination of that you can do, where you file for a fiance, but you also file for a K3, K4, which is a totally different process, okay? It really depends. In the Form I-131 Part 7, do you really have to write an explanation why you qualify for the advance card? If the government is asking you for something, then they want that information. So yeah, you have to have an explanation. My fiance Sharma, your fiance filed for a visa since 2021. Tell me more about the country, okay? When you say your fiance filed a visa, I'm assuming it's for you. Did they file it in 2021 in the United States, and is the I-129F that it's still pending? Or was that already approved and it's at the National Visa Center waiting for an appointment at the consulate? All those things make a difference, guys. A person who came here in the US legally and got work permit through asylum, can he still be deported? Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Can I apply for a work permit while I-130 pending an RFE requested while in the United States? An I-130 does not qualify anyone for a work permit. two couples in US, they want to sponsor me to take care of them because they're old. Is that possible? Rania, if you're not in the United States, generally speaking, yes, they can. It will take about 3 to 4 years for you to come here as an unskilled worker if they want to sponsor you for a green card. That's how long the process takes. Did the I-130 processing time change? Yes, it changes every single month. How long does it take for visa for my son? I don't know. It depends. I don't know under what category. I don't know what country. I don't know if you filed or didn't file. What is the priority date? How old is he? Married, unmarried? What's the story? I don't know. What's your immigration status? Are you a citizen? Are you a permanent resident? I need to know. How long after my I-130 is approved for my father to come back in? Oh, I don't understand that question at all, at all. I have DACA, clean record, came at 5. Spouse is veteran, now deputy. Perfect. What could I apply under? You need to hire an immigration lawyer. We already went over this, okay? You need to hire an immigration lawyer. It doesn't matter. I need to know how you came. We need to know a lot more information. Don't try to do it on your own. You're looking for trouble. You're just going to end up with mistakes and delays, okay? It's not worth it. I'm a US citizen. My spouse is Pakistani, still waiting for 9 months for interview. Any suggestions? Well, did you apply for your spouse? Okay, you are waiting for 9 months for an interview. I'm assuming the I-130 was already approved and you are waiting at the National Visa Center for an interview in Karachi. So it depends. The way it goes with the appointments for the interviews goes like this, okay? You are in line, you're waiting. There are people before you who applied. There are people after you who applied. It's the end of the month right now. For example, it's March the 30th. So tomorrow, National Visa Center will get a list saying that for those people, the consulate in Karachi, for example, for the month of May, not April, they are able to schedule, and it tells National Visa Center to do that, 30 appointments or 300 appointments, okay? Or 900 appointments or whatever it is based on what they have to do, how much staff they have, how many applications they are looking at that are different in nature, and what their priorities are in terms of categories. So every month that changes. Every month it could be anywhere between none to a few hundred. So you're waiting until your turn comes, and there's nothing you can do to speed it up unless you have some sort of emergency. God forbid you are sick, you're pregnant. I mean, there are a few things that would maybe allow you to file for a request to have your case expedited, okay? How long does the EB3 skilled take? So let's talk about that, okay, Sarah? If you have an employer willing to petition for you, the first step is the case development case that takes about a month to 2 months. Then you have the prevailing wage and the perm process. That alone takes about a year and a half. Then you apply, your employer applies for the I-130 for you, assuming you're here on some H-1B. Then you can apply for premium processing. You get a response in about 3 weeks. And then you apply for the green card. So by the time you add all that up, you're still looking at over 2 years. If you're abroad, significantly longer. I did buy biometric today. What should I expect after today? Absolutely nothing. You are going to get a status that says, at some point within a few days, that says we applied your fingerprints to your case and now we are resuming processing on your case. That's it. You may be stuck in that status for who knows how long. . That's all you expect. All right. Been here in the US since October. My social security number hasn't come yet. Well, what is your social security number based on? How are you getting that social security number? When you say you've been here in the US since October, did you come as a green card holder with an immigrant visa? So you had already a visa on your passport that made you a permanent resident? Did you get the actual green card in the mail? And if you did, then did you go to Social Security Administration and say, hey, I haven't gotten it. Can you give me my Social Security number? If you came here on a work visa and you didn't get your social, again, make an appointment at the Social Security Administration and go take care of it. All right. I think I went through almost all the questions. I don't think I missed anything. Can my wife, who's a naturalized citizen, petition for her mother? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And it depends. Is her mom here? Is her mom abroad? You might want to have a consultation with an experienced lawyer to determine what's the best plan for her, okay? Okay. All right. Can DUI green card holder get citizenship? I think I addressed this question yesterday. I think you may not have been here, or maybe it was you, I don't know. If you are a permanent resident, after you had, depends on the circumstances regarding your DUI. Was that based on an accident? Were you found at fault? Were there injuries? Were there damages? Were you just pulled over because of something else and then they found you had a DUI? In what state did this occur? Did they charge you with a felony or did they charge you with a misdemeanor? What is the likely sentencing on that? What is the plea offer for you? How long ago did this happen? Did you complete all the terms of your probation? Was there another offer that was made on the table? All of those things make a difference in whether you can apply later for citizenship or not, okay? F1, married to green card hold. F1 visa, married to green card holder. Can you apply for a work permit while the I-130 is pending? Why did you only apply for an I-130 and you didn't apply for the 485 at that time? Because at the time you applied for that, okay, I'm confused. At the time you applied for that, the category for spouses of permanent residents was current. You could have applied for green card at exactly the same time. There is no work permit available to you just by filing an I-130. Now, the problem is, since then, if you are not filing the 485 today, beginning, no joke, Mackie, okay, if you're not filing the I-485 today, beginning with April 1st, it's no longer current, that category. So you have to wait 3-4 years to do that. So some mistakes were made there, okay? All right. All right, so I've been doing this for a while now, so we good for today. Hopefully I addressed a bunch of your questions, and that's it. All good. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.